our sports topic for the day. The NCAA and their endorsements. This was something that popped up last week in the headlines. It was a major headline in the sporting world. And for those of you that don't know, the NCAA recently announced that athletes at any level competing within the NCAA, whether it be Division I, Division II, or Division III, can profit off of their personal brand, which is something that they weren't necessarily allowed to do earlier. Meaning that they weren't allowed to sell their autographs or have sponsorships or brand deals in college. But if they went professional or whatever it is, they could, expand on that opportunity and build themselves out a nice career with endorsements. But now they're able to kind of start earlier. And I think this is not only a W for the players, but it's a W for everybody. And let me explain kind of my take on this whole thing. I think it's a win for the players, number one, because I think it's a win for the players because, it's obvious. If you're a top-ranked recruit, if you are a top-ranked player in basketball, football, volleyball, tennis, brands are after you. It doesn't matter. If you're the best in college, people are going to be after you no matter what. That's just the fact, right? It's a fact in any profession. If you're the top at any profession, they're going to be after you. And so and for them, they don't have to worry. They can finally capitalize on all this money that they could have been making earlier. And now college athletes can capitalize on that, especially the ones who are the top of the game. But I think it's more beneficial for the athletes who are kind of in the middle or towards the bottom. And I was thinking about this earlier. Initially I was with this whole idea that, this is only going to benefit the real top people, right? The ones who people really, care about. But the thing is about the NCAA is that it's across this country. It just doesn't, we may see college football rest with Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State, but college football and college basketball and college sports happen from Northern California to Northern Maine. And that's just a fact. And you as a player may not be popular amongst the nation because you're not getting that coverage, but you may be popular within your small community in Fargo, North Dakota, playing at North Dakota State, which is, has the best Division I AA football team in the NCAA. I mean, at that point, you can profit off your name locally. You can use local brand deals. You can talk with local companies in North Dakota. You can be partnering with all sorts of different brands within your region, and you could be selling autographs to people who actually care about you. You can exploit your brand on not exploit. That's a negative term, but you can spread your brand at a micro level and a macro level. Look, you may not be, I'm not saying every player is macro popular. That's not true. Yeah. I mean, if to get exposed to the macro audience, you have to go to a big school and you have to be a big talent. Not everybody is that. And that's just a fact. And in the NCAA, it's a widespread organization with different divisions. And the point is, these athletes who are playing Division I AA, Division II, Division III, may be popular in their local market because in a lot of these, Midwestern and Southern towns, oftentimes in the middle of nowhere, there's no real sports teams to root for professionally. So you got to root for the college teams, and they may be popular at the local level. And so they can take advantage of these micro brand deal partnerships that in the grand scheme of things may not be a big deal, but to a college student who's broke and can't pay their bills, it's a huge fucking deal. So I 100% think that this supports not only the higher ranked NCAA players, but the lower ranked ones. And I think this is a win for agents, obviously, because they can, agents and publicists can get to athletes faster, which is something that they've been trying to do for years through shady bagmen. But now they can just, openly do business. And I think this is a win for the NCAA in general, or the NCAA consumer in general, not the NCAA, but the NCAA consumer, because oftentimes, you see NCAA fans complain about, it's the same four teams in the college basketball playoffs, in the college football playoffs. There's no parity. But now players can make a brand, particularly the top ranked players, the ones that are most highly coveted, don't necessarily need a big school like Kentucky or Duke or North Carolina to make a brand out of themselves, because they can use themselves to make the brand. So they can go wherever the fuck they want, whether that be the G League, whether that be Temple University, whether that be fucking Quinnipiac. It doesn't matter. They can go wherever they want to go. And that's just the facts. Truly, that was weird. But I mean, it's true that they can go wherever they want to go and profit off their own brand, particularly if you're a bigger player. If you're a smaller player and you get the opportunity to go to Kentucky, you're still going to do it, right? Because it gives you more exposure. But as a bigger player, you can still go wherever you want, but also take your brand with you and monetize off yourself, which I think creates parity within the NCAA. And suddenly you're going to see more programs be established throughout the country and be more equalized rather than all the top ranked recruits going to Kentucky for exposure.